Hi everybody, Dan Illman here with some exciting news. DRF Formulator, the gold standard in past performance information, is now free, exclusively on DRF Bets. Join DRF Bets with the promo code WINNING, get a $250 first deposit match bonus, a $10 free bet, and free Formulator already uploaded to your account. Access Formulator's premium features, including sortable trainer stats, race replays, personalized trip notes, and lots more. Free Formulator, exclusively on DRF Bets. Hi everybody, Dan Illman, Mike Beer, the DRF race of the day for Sunday, May the 8th. Race number 8 at beautiful Belmont Park. We're going a one-turn mile for fillies and mares. It's the Grade 2 $200,000 Ruffian. Let's take a look at this field. You can view free Formulator past performances for this race on the Race of the Day event page at drf.com. Take a peek, handicap along with us. When you've made your final determinations, play this race in the entire Belmont card on Sunday with your DRF Bets account, which includes free Formulator past performances. Nice to see Royal Flag back for another year, Mike. She really got good towards the end of 2021.
Yeah, I agree. I wonder if this is just a jumping off point going maybe a little shorter than she actually wants to go. But you're right. She had a great year last year.
Let's throw up the Timeform US pace projector. Brad Cox was not happy when Lady Rocket drew the rail down at Churchill Downs on Saturday, so he opts to run here, and why not? She's done very well going a one-turn mile in New York in the past. The last time she tried it, 107 Beyer speed figure in the Go for Wand, and this pace projector doesn't hurt.
Yeah, she does look like the speed of this race, too. I mean, there are a couple other horses in here who can certainly be forward if they want. It looks like Lady Rocket's going to make the lead, though.
Bank Sting, a New York bred's in very good form for John Terranova. She's won her last two races, including the Heavenly Prize against Open Foes. We're going to watch that race. A one-turn mile at Aqueduct back in March. Bank Sting got up close to a nice, reasonable pace, and she's got to work in the stretch to get this done over Battle Bling, who's a hard hitter in her own right. Bank Sting earned a 91 Beyer speed figure. She is 7 for 9 lifetime.
Yeah, she's just in really good form. Yeah, a really underrated New York bred who's run a couple of fast races as well. And, you know, the great thing about her is that she's so tactical. If the pace is fast, she can sit a little bit. If it's slow, she'll be right up on top of it. I can see her getting a really good trip from the rail in here. I don't know if she's good enough to beat this field, but I wouldn't discount her chances, especially if she's a price. She's a good horse.
8-1 on the morning line. Flavien Prat takes them out. Wouldn't mind a wet track. 4 for 6 on off going in her career. The number 2 is Lady Rocket. We talked about the Go for Wand 107 Beyer speed figure when we discussed her chances when she was entered Saturday. Mike, you thought that Beyer might have been a little bit inflated. I can certainly understand where you're coming from there. It's an outlier compared to her other races. She has one start this year, the Madison. She kind of got cooked on a fast pace that day.
She did. She was dueling it pretty much from start to finish. The horses that ran 1-2 both came from well out of it to close that thing down. It wasn't her greatest performance, but it was off the layoff, and she did get, you know, sort of hooked up on the pace there. So maybe she just needed the race, Dan. Pretty good scenario here for her early if she makes the lead. She did, you know, whether she, you know, ran a 107 or not in the Go for Wand, she still ran a really good race and just dusted that field. Now, that wasn't a very good field. This is a much tougher race for her, but she was just getting good last year, and she could continue that forward development.
Royal Flag is the number 3. She was very, very good, beating a subpar field in the Grade 2 Beldame 2 starts back at Belmont, and she seems to do very good running at Belmont. In the Breeders' Cup Distaff, I'm curious as to your thoughts of this race, because there was an electric pace up front, and you could argue that Joel Rosario made an early 5-wide move into contention at the quarter pole. You could make that argument. The problem is, the horse that was moving alongside of her was the long shot Japanese horse that ended up winning the race while Royal Flag flattened out. I thought all in all she ran pretty well, even though the pace was in her favor.
Yeah, I agree with all that stuff. I mean, I didn't give her a big excuse for that race. Maybe she was going to be, you know, second or third instead of fifth if he'd waited a little bit longer, but that's neither here nor there. She still ran the race that she ran, still ran pretty well in there. Overall, had a really good year last year. She's starting off here at a one-turn mile, Dan. They've mostly concentrated on longer races with her, but she's run twice at one-turn route distances in her career, and she won both of those races by the length of the stretch, including the Beldame 2 starts back. That's a mile and an eighth, but it's still a one-turn race.
The distaff of 2021 has already produced 5 next out winners. Up next is a grade 1 winner. That's Search Results, and she's a grade 1 winner at a mile. She won the Acorn at Belmont last year. She only had one race after that, the Tests, going 7 furlongs at Saratoga, and then she went away for a long time. Now, she has one race this year. She was bet hard in the grade 3 distaff. She didn't fire that day. Maybe there wasn't a lot of pace for her up front. Maybe she was a short horse, but she kind of disappointed.
Yeah, you can't really make too many excuses for her distaff last time, Dan. She was terrible off the layoff. Wasn't sharp at all. Never looked like she was going to win. Had no finish at all in that race. It was just a really disappointing performance off the layoff. Obviously, she's better than that, and maybe she'll rebound here. But she is the kind of filly who felt like she was maybe kind of going the wrong way last summer before they finally stopped on her after the test, and then she came back off the layoff with a really flat performance. We'll see how much money she takes. I feel like the 7-2 morning line, that's probably fair. Any shorter than that, I'd be a little concerned.
All right, O'Tears retains the mount for trainer Chad Brown. Zagel goes out for Todd Pletcher. This horse earned her career best Buyer speed figure at Belmont when pulling off an upset in the Mother Goose. She might not have been the best horse that day. Clairiere had a very, very tough trip. Since then, Zagel has kind of reverted to the Zagel we saw in the Edgewood and in the Fairgrounds Oaks. Now, she, like Search Results, made her seasonal debut in the distaff, and again, there wasn't a lot of pace. She was wide. You could argue she was compromised, but I feel the same way about Zagel as I do about Search Results. I wanted to see her run a little bit more.
Yeah, she didn't do anything in that race. She was also, pretty terrible in that race, whether you liked her or not. We'll see if she can rebound too. She ran a couple of good races last year. I liked that Todd, just sort of pressed on with her, that Mother Goose Dan, because she really hadn't run very well in any of her starts before that, but he pressed on and he was right. She came through with a 93 Buyer over this track. So I don't know, both of her races at Belmont last year were good performances. So maybe that's the key to this horse. We'll see if it is. I don't know. She's a big price on the line. I guess if you like her, you should bet her. I don't like her.
The 6 is Make Mischief, a New York bred trained by Mark Cassie, and Cassie could not have found an easier spot for her return to the races. Second level allowance race, short field. Let's watch the stretch run. All 4 moon track races at Aqueduct on this day were won on the lead, on the rail. Make Mischief was pressured early by a long shot through very reasonable fractions, and she does what she's supposed to do. She wins very, very easily. 99 Buyer speed figure. You take it with several grains of salt?
Yeah. I mean, listen, in her defense, it's not like she hadn't run, several really good races as a 3-year-old. So it's not out of the realm that she really improved in her 4-year-old debut, Dan. She was aided by a speed favoring track that day. But she still, won that race very easily. She's a good horse. She was a good horse last year. She's probably even better now. We'll see. I'm not knocking this horse. It's interesting, though. Among the 2 New York breds in this field, I'd rather have the other one.
Before we get to our top selections, please click subscribe on the Daily Racing Form YouTube channel for access to all of the latest DRFTV video offerings. Top pit time for the distaff. I think Royal Flag might could have a very, very good year. I'm sure they're looking for a grade 1 this year. Maybe this distance is a bit short, but she is the class of the race, isn't she?
Yeah, that's how I looked at it. I just think this is, even if it's a little too short for her, and that may well be the case, I think she just might be the best horse.
We talked about all the reasons why maybe Make Mischief's last race is a bit of a phony baloney and that she's dressed up. I like her at a mile. I like her on a potential wet track. I like this outside post in her versatile running style. And it's not like that last race came out of nowhere. She's been a consistent stakes horse for most of her career. She was 3rd in the Acorn. She's running some nice races. She's got a drift for me off the 5-1, and maybe she won't because of the 99 Buyer, but I'm curious to see if she has a nice campaign for Cassie. 3-2-1-4 for Mike, 6-3-1-2 for me. It's the Ruffian at Belmont for distaffers. Good luck.